In a merit-based world, it can be tough for royalty to remain relevant. Starting with publisher SNK's idea to bring characters from its fighting game worlds into a Street Fighter-style brawl, the King of Fighters series has certainly earned the goodwill of its fans over the years, despite its 12th installment being something of an ineffectual monarch. Does the lucky number 13 build on a flawed foundation and finally deliver a truly regal rumble to rival the glory days of '98? As it turns out, hosting a tournament where international teams of fighters compete in an all-out battle is actually a great way to gather energy for the resurrection of an ancient evil god. Actually, the conclusion of a story arc that began in 2003, the latest KOF aims to include as many characters as possible with its improbable setup. The cast interacts through copious amounts of dialogue that's a departure from the series in terms of grammatical correctness, but still entertainingly goofy and strangely earnest. Even though the story mode is a lot to it with its branching paths, it's almost like one big extra. Arcade mode still hits the plot highlights and lets you mix and match your team from a well-rounded cast of more than 30 available fighters, supplying you with a steady stream of scraps to keep you busy. The game offers a tutorial and a practice mode that's on par with most fighting games. It'll teach you the basics, and you'll emerge aware of some of KOF's specialized concepts like short hops and super jumps, although learning their practical applications is more or less up to you. Mission mode gives you the chance to fight through a series of opponents in survival events, attempt a time trial, or take on extremely challenging combo trials. The mode selection provides exactly what you'd expect from a fighting game, and a few nice extras are included as well. You can customize your character's color palettes, unlocking new options the more you use them, which allows for a decent amount of personalization. One-on-one battles are also included in addition to the traditional team elimination format for standard versus play. Online, the game tracks your performance history through a profile and lets you save replays that you can analyze frame by frame, even displaying your exact button inputs. If a ranked match meets the score criteria, it can be uploaded to the server and viewed by anyone. An especially welcome option lets you play arcade or practice mode while you wait for an online opponent to challenge you, which makes up for the lack of lobbies and ability to watch live matches. Unfortunately, actually getting into a stable, decent match can take some effort and patience with a somewhat rocky technical performance out of the gate, so there's no guarantee the game will evolve into what it was meant to be online. When the fists and feet start flying, King of Fighters 13 is a great example of what gives modern fighting games their appeal. The diverse cast of characters provides numerous tools and many different angles from which you can approach the art of fighting, with a huge number of different special moves and strategies that can be deeply enjoyable to discover. The broader structure that determines exactly how a fight goes down is much improved from the gimmicky King of Fighters 12. Like most modern fighting games, 13 emphasizes combos. Catch your opponent with the right move, and you can go into a damaging sequence of attacks, leaving your opponents to helplessly watch their life bar shrink. Even grapplers can pour on the punishment. In addition to the basic mechanics, you essentially have two sources of power to boost your game. The power meter lets you pull off enhanced versions of your special moves or damaging desperation moves, and the drive meter lets you cancel one move into another. When you have enough meter to work with, your damaging potential goes through the roof with max cancel combos that pour on the flash and style. The gameplay in King of Fighters 13 has a lot of potential because it's highly specialized, but there's a lot to learn on a basic level. In the face of such a complex framework, button mashing is no recourse. The required inputs to pull off special moves can be complex, and timing is tight. There are 4 different types of jumps in KOF, and an evasive roll attack that can get you into trouble as easily as it can get you out. It can be a rich and rewarding game, but there's a lot to learn here. Newcomers are in for a long road, and many hard knocks before they become proficient. Not all 2D fighting games feature 2D graphics, but King of Fighters 13 kicks it old school with large and detailed sprites to great effect. The characters are perhaps more visually diverse than any other series, covering a wide range of body types and personal styles. Small animation flourishes that may seem incidental give the game a lot of personality. The locations that host the battles are also impressive, changing from round to round, and each team has a theme song to put you in the mood to battle. The creativity and enthusiasm really shine, but close scrutiny reveals a few literal rough edges or a few characters with nearly identical bodies. It's still a great-looking game, however, and it stands out as distinctive. King of Fighters 13 accomplishes the difficult task of redeeming a previously failed attempt at revitalizing the franchise. Everything that makes a great fighting game, from an interesting and balanced cast to well-conceived mechanics and visual flair, are here in abundance. It's got elements that will only appeal to fans, and perhaps one or two shortcuts taken here or there, but 13 is a vast improvement on its predecessor, and a legitimate return to form for the series. The only possible hitch is online mode, which, while promising, has a few kinks, which could lead to a huge letdown in the future. In the meantime, if you enjoy fighting games on any level, this game is still worth checking out.